Why, hello, Internet. My name is Prunk.
Hey, and I am Slander, aka Trip.
You almost forgot that one for a second.
It's one of those days that ends in Y. So me remembering my name to begin with, that's all I can do for the day.
All right. And so today, for the audience, we have a fun little matchup of Blurple.
Yeah.
I get to critique a Blurple list finally. I am super excited. And that is going to be taking on a yellow-green aggro list, which I hate. So I hate aggro. So that's I get to critique something I love and critique something I hate. This is going to be fun.
And not only that, but one thing that I picked up on was that these players are neither one of them are playing their self-professed favorite ink combo. They're in uncharted waters, it looks like.
Barely any testing of these lists. They do not actually know how to pilot these lists very well. So I'm excited. We get to tear it apart quite a bit.
Oh boy.
And we're going to start off by going into Mr. Thomas. And yes, so Thomas is the father of Jackson. And so we have a nice father-son match tonight, which I like. I like that Lorcana brings families together quite a bit. And and often tears apart. And like, it's not like Monopoly where you just obviously hate each other afterwards. You kind of just have fun and you enjoy it.
Thing with our group here in Nashcana especially is we've got a lot of people at our local shops that are like husband and wife or father and son. Lots of people that show up in the same car. So it's cool to have that kind of family dynamic within the community.
Yeah, this is the really nice thing that I love about Lorcana compared to like Yu-Gi-Oh! And coming from that background, where I mean we're all hanging out and stuff like that, but I never brought my other to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event. I never saw other people's bring their others. Just with Lorcana, it's always husband and wife, father son, father daughter, daughter's mom. Like it's great. I find that just crazy magical. I love it.
It is pretty cool, yeah.
So let's talk about Thomas, though. These guys are both from Clarksville. I don't even really know if we can consider them Nashcana, but they're here. They're in the community. They're great.
Exactly. That's my hometown, so I've got a special love for them.
Oh, okay. So Thomas's favorite ink color is purple green normally, so he does kind of play a little bit more of the mid-range focused. I think a lot of his list that he's seen is mostly aggro though. Like mid-range to aggro, not super fast from what I remember with his original deck. We are ranking him as a 3-star player. He's just an average guy. And we don't say that with like disrespect or anything, just not everybody gets first places consistently at set champs, or no, but not everybody top 8s at set champs. And so he's still looking for his first top 8, I believe. And we're going to go in and talk about his son, though. On the other hand, we got Jackson here, who has his first place mat with a red-blue.
Yeah.
So Jackson here, we're still ranking him as a 3-star list as well. Just because it's been one win, he's still a little bit newer into the game. That one first place and then a couple top 4s. So he's definitely growing in. His skill level is growing. I think it's pretty unfair that we do give him a 3. He's probably more of a 4-star at this point. But yeah. Anybody with a champion mat, I think they deserve a 4-star rating at minimum.
Yeah. In full disclosure, like I think I've only met these two like a handful of times, so I don't know them well enough yet to be able to say like, how do they rank up? I don't know. Jackson's kicked my teeth in, so like I don't know that I've actually played against Thomas yet, but looking forward to it at next set champ or league or something, because he's fun to hang out with.
Oh, for sure. And I do have a nice little video package for them. Let them talk to you or talk to us and just brag about themselves. We'll get to learn a little bit.
My name is Thomas Williams.
My name is Jackson Williams.
What is your favorite color combination?
That's a tough one. For the most of the sets, it's been Emerald Amethyst. This set, I'm playing Amber Emerald and really enjoying it.
My favorite color combo is Ruby Sapphire. I've been playing that for 5 sets, but as a standalone color, Sapphire has always been my favorite.
The kind of player I am is typically I lean towards more the aggro. Every now and then I'll go towards the mid-range. I really hate the control decks because I have to think too much and I want to have fun.
I've always preferred Control over other decks, just because of prior experience. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've always loved Control in that game. I also sometimes play mid-range, but I've always been a Control player.
My biggest Lorcana accomplishment. I don't know that I have one. I'll give you a few examples. Went to DLCs last year and got enough tickets to get a couple of promos. That was good for me. Just getting to a DLC was a lot of fun. I just recently placed second in a Reign of Jafar set champs. That was good times. Beyond that, this one's a little personal and kind of funny. For the Stitch set champs, I went to a smaller tournament. Myself and my son Jackson. We both made it into top 8. Then it was the top 4, and I played him in the top 8 round to get to the top 4, and I beat my own son to get a Stitch.
My best Lorcana accomplishment was set 7 set champs at Graceful Gaming. I took home second, and we split, so I got the mat. I also got top 8 in another set champ that set, but that's recently where I've been.
What got you into Lorcana?
That's a good story. So we have some friends here in Nashville, actually that play at this store, that were into it. And at the time I was working for Collins Aerospace. I have some friends from Puerto Rico that were talking about the game. And so it made me curious. We got a few, it was like the December after the first year. We were on a cruise with the kids, and I bought a couple of starter decks for us to have, just another thing to do on the cruise. We played it, we loved it, and then we got into a local store there where we live, and that was it. We've been in it ever since.
What's it like being able to play Lorcana with your kid? Or your kids, right?
Yeah, kids. It's a blast. Like that's honestly part of what has kept me in the game. So we've tried a few TCGs. We've done Yu-Gi-Oh! And I ended up stopping playing one because of the paragraph of text in all of them.
Ooh, lots of words, scary text, tiny font.
Stop it, Patrick, you're scaring him!
All the cards. And then 2, it's just every single turn is so complicated. The other one I played with them, I played a little bit of Pokemon, and it was fine. We didn't enjoy the search your deck every single turn. So we got to Lorcana, and we all have just had a blast. And we found the local store. They both enjoy going with me. I enjoy going. We have a ton of fun every time we match up in local Saturday tournaments. So that's actually one of the highlights of playing the game for me.
Playing Lorcana with my family is a lot of fun. There's a lot of interesting dynamics at tournaments. Me and my dad have very different takes on wanting to play the game, so it's very interesting messing around with that. Also, the trash talk is another interesting dynamic. I really like playing with Dad because all of our sets are really funny. I've had 2 really memorable set chants with him, and I've really just it's a lot of fun. I'm 18 and just graduated high school.
And what do you plan on doing now that you graduated high school?
I plan on going to Tennessee Technological University to major in electrical engineering with a concentration in mechatronics and a minor in piano performance. My favorite piece lately, I really like romantic classical pieces. I really enjoyed for my concert, it was Elegy in E-flat minor by Rachmaninoff. Really beautiful classical piece. It was a lot of fun to learn.
All right, so first things first, we have Thomas with his aggro list. Milo, because my kid has my daisies. I'm confused. His daisy, unless there is a secret daisy somewhere else, there's 4 daisies in this list.
Yeah. Just kind of going through it, it was like this doesn't have anything besides a pair of Ursulas for discard, so it doesn't matter if it's the green 4-drop daisy that quests to discard or the 4-drop yellow daisy that enters play and forces a discard. Not sure what daisy's missing because we got the 1-drop. That's the only important one.
Yeah, the name confuses me, but maybe that's just the strategy. He introduces his deck saying, my kid has my daisies, and then plops a different daisy, and like, what daisy is it? It's part of the strategy. Yeah. But looking at the list, I'm not, so I know I kind of give aggro a little bit of hate. I actually enjoy playing against aggro. I just don't like playing it. I don't like this list at all for an aggro list. I see a lot of different big things that I don't like. First off, I think there's way too many one drops in terms of vanilla generic one drops. I think the Milo, the Kita, and the Merryweather are all unnecessary if we're playing it aggro or trying to just go fast. What do you think?
I feel the same way, but uh, I don't know what kind of card library they have to work with, because again, this is father and son team. I know just through talking through with them on our Discord that they don't have like the full set 1, set 2, set 3 type stuff. So when we're looking at this list and we're like, this is Chernadog, but without the Chernabog that makes it the dog package, it could just be because they don't yet own those cards. And so this feels like I felt back in Ursula when I was having to like buy not just that set because that was where I started, but like try and build up a library of all the previous sets and get my staples. So I feel like some of these are questionable choices only because we have to realize that not everybody owns a full playset of Rapunzels and Chernabogs and all the other things that would traditionally be in the deck. So we have to keep in mind that some of these are possibly just practical substitutions of, here's what I do have.
I think that's totally fair. Now, like when you look at these deck lists, you don't realize that okay, well, Rapunzels are $40. That's $160 if you're going for a playset. Clarabelle's, they were like $30 to $20 cards for a while too. So like maybe I'm not playing that. Milo Thatch, his legendary like a buck if that. Kita maybe $2. So like this is a pretty good budget list. I do say there is some pretty decent commons I think that can still replace it. Like Fred, for example, he is from set 6. Whenever this character challenged, gain 2 lore, I think would be a nice fit instead. I think he has the good damn it like package with the tramp to like buff, so I don't think Merryweather is there. And if anything, I think the only like I'm gonna use air quotes kind of expensive card that I feel like should definitely be in here is Morph. We got a lot of really good Floodborns, but it can thin up the list quite a bit and make more rooms for like more impactful cards like Ursula, like Donald Duck, even like a couple like I don't know, like maybe some more Daisy or ladies and like to fill in the slots. Chernabog, who's relatively cheap, although he might be a little harder to find because he's a random rare from set 3 that nobody carries.
Right.
So I think that there are some better options. I don't see Flynn Rider like set 2, like Flynn Rider rant like here either, and or set 1, yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's some really good commons and uncommons that I feel like could be in this list that we got to make sure we get them for because I think that it can improve it quite a bit.
Yeah. For me, the thing that worries me just looking through this is we have 2 sources of card draw. We've got the Shift Lady, which kind of recurs as some 2 drops, and then we've only got the tramp that lets you draw if it's killed on your opponent's turn. So if as soon as we dump our hand, we're in top deck mode for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
and
you mentioned
that feels kind of distressing.
Yeah, like without Rapunzel, the card draw engine is extremely limited. Like if we just search draw for like on Dreamborn, what do we have that can like really replace it? You said ball, like get into the ball is technically a good card draw for it.
The ball. Yeah, so
Invited to
just
the ball.
looking at this list, we have nothing but dudes. So it's a guaranteed pay 2, draw 2. But it's not even draw. It cheats around that. So like you're just revealing dudes, which means that opposing Diablos don't draw off of it or anything. And chances are you're probably going to be able to play at least one, if not both of those, given the number of 1 drops that are in the deck. So if you are in top deck mode, maybe you get lucky and you pull one of the Shift Ladies. Maybe you get the 3-drop lady and a 2 or 1 drop that you can play out. But yeah, it needs some card draw.
Yeah, I think the other main card I would really focus in on is Remember Who You Are as like a 2 or 3 of, because that if you're playing an aggro and you're at top decking mode, your opponent most likely has a grip of cards, and
Yep.
being able to play just if you have to take a turn off just to play kind of get a new grip, I think that card can be insanely valuable. If you can draw 2 or 3 extra cards from that afterwards, and yeah, you may have to pause your turn, but that way you can establish a board the following turn of dropping like 2 or 3 characters that maybe they just you have to say answer this or I win.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that could be a good one. I like honestly I gave it some crap. The only reason I don't like Big Milo here is because I you don't have Morph, and I think Morph would just make this deck like 10 times better right off the bat. Because you can shift the lady, you can shift the tramp, you can shift the Milo, like the Kita, like you have so many like you have good Floodborne targets that would just be so improved if you didn't have to play the exact shift, you just play Morph.
Yeah, and you're doing most of them or half of them the turn after you play it. Like you've got shift 3 for both Kita and Lady, and shift 4 for Tramp and Milo, and they're solid choices. Yeah, I was nodding my head even though you couldn't hear it. I was nodding my head in agreement. Yes. So
All right.
I think for the card pool that they have, this is a great starter point. Obviously, there are ways to optimize the deck a little bit, but if this is what I've got, I would run it.
Yeah, I think it's slightly above the starter deck tier, but we can definitely tweak him up and help him out a little bit more after seeing this list.
Yeah, we were all there at one point.
That's right. Now, on to my baby deck, Blurple.
Yeah.
So this is almost an exact list of what I played in set 5. I don't know if that's good or not now. So like, and I say that like obviously Genie wasn't there, and we don't have the Donald Duck or Tamatoa, but like everything else in this package could have been stuff I was playing in set 5, like replace out the bells, and play because I was barely playing 1 drops anyways, and I don't feel like this is the proper way to play Blurple right now. And I know my personal build is a little weird, but even now, like I don't know. What's your take on this? Because I don't personally, I'm not a big fan of how this list has come together completely. But what do you think? You've played some Blurple too.
Um, Again, I think we have to keep in mind their card pool. If I only own 1 Tamatoa,
Oh, you playing
that
it?
frees up like
Yeah.
2 to 3 extra slots to improvise and do things. So in this one, if he's running 1 because that's what they own, heck yeah, you run the 1 and then you get to play a little jazz. You get to just kind of improvise a little bit. So yeah, you play a Donald Duck. You play the big Elsa. You do some weird stuff. It gives you a little opportunity to do things that aren't expected. And yeah, you play a Donald Duck on somebody, and that is 100% unexpected.
Yeah. I don't mind the Donald Duck. So like I think where it comes down to is I don't think you're playing enough 4 drops to play Tipo here. And you kind of disagree because like I don't like if I play Tipo on turn 2, that means on turn 3 I will have 4 ink to play around with. And the argument would be like I'm not playing enough either 1 drops to really utilize a crab combo with Tipo and then play a 1 drop so that way I get the full value of that extra ramp. Or I'm not playing enough good 4 drops. Like Genie's fine. He's a great card. He replaces himself. Iago's great, but he's only really great if you played Peter Pan the turn before. Like I almost would rather play like a Merlin package in comparison to like this evasive engine that he's kind of got going because of the Tipo.
I feel like if you're playing Blurple, you are playing the full ramp package on turn 2. You have the 8 cards dedicated in the deck for Sail and Tipo. You only really need one or the other, but you should have both.
Yeah.
I feel like if you are running those, you should run Grandma Tala. just
You're talking about the
because.
4 Grammatala.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 4-drop Grammatala. The
Okay.
3/3. She's been around. She's a great card. She replaces herself and lets you dig, and is the optimal like line of, okay, I'm gonna ramp on turn 3 so that I can play a quality 4-drop. That said, I also think that if you are worried about Amber Steel aggro in your meta, or any of the other kind of hyper aggros, you need a dude on the board. And Tipo still
Tipo's that
dies
dude.
to all the general removal, but at least he's a dude.
So
This deck definitely wants to go late in the game, and in order to play big dudes, you need to ramp. So this deck kind of has to take that turn 2 off to do it. At least Tipo into Crab will get rid of the Daisy. Tipo into Fox gets rid of the Daisy. It doesn't quite get the Rhino, but it still does what it needs to. And even if you're not fully maximizing all 4 ink on your turn 3, at least you're ramping to where Hades, Tamatoa, Elsa, your other staple big dudes, and gals, are available as quickly as turn 4.
That's fair. And I think that, like, yeah, on turn 4, you can, if you made some trades and you ran in some stuff, that means that on turn 5, you can hard drop this Bell to move some damage around and start gaining control of the field. And Elsa. I would almost say, though, like, I think I would want to see a couple more 4-drops in this list. And I think the cut that I would really consider is, it's a tough lit. Like, I don't like the Peter Pan Shadow as much. Maybe dropping him down to 1. Or, I'm sorry, not 1, 2. I don't think the list needs 4 Hades because the uninkable count is so high. Like, I would probably play like 2 or 3, and then maybe bump up like a Into the Unknown, so that way you can deal with some aggro. I find that not playing. I see so many lists not playing Into the Unknown but playing Bell. So like if you popsicle Bell on turn 1, and obviously you want to sing Friends, but having her as an option to sing Into the Unknown, I think is so necessary. And yeah, everyone's like, oh, it gives your opponent ramp early. I'm like, so you are removing a probably problematic threat. You're removing a Rhino, like, or you're removing something that you wouldn't be able to kill very easily. And you're a Blurple player, like, at this point. You don't have many options for removal. So, like, if you can just cleanly remove something and keep a character on board, like, that is way more valuable than them getting 2 extra ink, even if I have to ink like a flood, or have them put away a Floodborn in their inkwell.
Blurple is going to ramp your opponent no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, let it go, Hades. That we're kind of used to that side effect. I don't know what the proper ratio is, but it's a very good point. If you've got a Bell on turn 1 and you have the option to remove that Rhino instead of finding some other way that puts you in a negative board state, I think you have to at least consider it.
Yeah, with Blurple, your characters are your biggest resource. You do not care about your opponent's inkwell as much. You have to make sure that you contain board presence, because if they go wide, you are so limited on what your options can be.
The
Go
big
ahead.
Elsas. You're a fan of the big Elsas.
So I love Elsa. I do not. I think that she has been power creeped for the new version of her, the specific
Okay.
Blurple, the 7-drop. And the reason I like that one more is because I'm running more of an Anna package as well. But
Right.
even if I'm not, even if it's just a vacuum Elsa compared to Elsa in a generically good thing, I like the 5/5 stat line. It's a little bit more than the 4/6, and people are always like, well, you can get Zeused. Yes, you can die to Zeus. That sucks. But the 5/5 stat line does allow you to trade a little bit better into the rhinos that are out in the play. Herb shifting on 4 versus her Elsa shifting on 6 is like that extra ink savings is pretty big. So even if I had to shift, like, there's been times where I have had to shift my Elsa off of like this Spirit of Winter one. So yeah, I paid 5, now I'm shifting 4. But now I'm able to play other cards as well to like just maintain field control. Or maybe I just bounce, like I do what I need to do. I quest with her, turn 2 characters sideways, bounce the both Elsas back, and then
Yeah.
like with a fox and have it run into whatever I saw was the more of the threat. Like the
Yeah,
the
you've done
ink
that to me
cost.
before. I hated it.
Yeah, like the ink cost value that you get, and then you get both your Elsas back. So people have to be like, oh shit, that's a problem later on. Like
Right.
I do not think, and if you were playing a more of a Madam Mim package, which also I think could fix his four liner if he played like the Madam Mim Elephant, then the bigger 8-drop Elsa can be better because you're able to just instantly ping at things. But I think overall, I think the newest Elsa is technically better. And even in whether it's in a vacuum or if you are playing a more Elsa Anna focused list, I think she's just better. Okay, so we have our game up and running. And so right off the bat, we have mid to control range Blurple versus Aggro. What's your take? Who do you think has the advantage here?
I feel like Blurple is gonna take it, but he's gonna take it 2-1.
Okay. So as a Blurple player, I love seeing Aggro across the table, but I don't think his build can handle it. I think it's gonna end up being a bit too slow for him. And so I worry. And looking at the aggro list, I think it's win by turn 5 or bust. It's
Sure.
it if Jackson can take the like actually get control of the board quickly, if he is able to utilize his bells, if he's able to get the popsicle bell shift line to really hold him back, he's gonna have to hard mulligan. They know each other. They know what they're playing. It's father son combo, so they know
Yeah.
what they're playing, and they're gonna have to use that knowledge to their advantage in the mulligan.
Yeah, I hadn't taken that into account. Is the matchup that we recorded with me and Micah, we went into it blind, had no idea. So they've practiced this matchup before, so they probably have a better idea of who might win than we do right now.
Right? Yeah. Skip that ahead. Okay, so right off the bat, we got the mulligan here, and all right, let's pause and see. Oop, missed
Did
about
he
just
take a
second.
full 7 cards?
Um,
Is this mulligan or is this
this
pre-mull?
is the opening hand, I think, for this pre-mulligan right
Okay,
here.
okay, yeah.
And
I was gonna say that'd be wild if they both mulligan 7 cards. Oh yeah, okay. This is pre-mull.
What are you cutting? Like obviously you want your 1/2. You got your Lilo there. You definitely keep Lilo. I don't think you keep that Marigold, but okay, he's holding 2. No, he's holding 3. I don't know which one's his hold hand. So, all right, he's mulliganing 4. It looks like. But did he get rid of the Lilo?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get rid of Lilo in my opening hand. I feel like that's one of the best cards you can definitely have, like open up with.
Yeah. And Jackson's keeping 3. He's got Diablo, Fox, and Friends,
which is pretty good. I don't hard mulligan for the bell too much, but like you kind of like you definitely at least want your 1-drop. So like you hard mulligan for your 1, and with your 2, with his list, I don't know, but seeing this, okay, we got a good line. We got see Lilo, Curse Merf. Is that a Curse Merfolk in between Lilo?
Yeah,
okay.
there's Merfolk.
We got Milo for ink.
Yeah, that's a tramp on the far left. That's probably going to end up ink as well.
Yeah, I think ink Milo, play Merfolk. Next turn, do whatever you need to do to get the Lilo on the field. Because if you're going first, I believe he's going first this game. So that's.
I bet he waits and plays the Lilo with the lady on turn 3.
That's possible too. I mean, you can do it either way.
He's got too many uninkables, so I'm betting that he's going to try and play those uninkables first, and that way, if he absolutely has to ink Lilo, which he shouldn't, but if he absolutely has to, he's got that as an option.
That's fair. That's probably a good idea. See, that's one thing with the aggro list I won't really consider because one, I don't really go that hard on it. Oh, he's gonna ink Lilo right off the bat. Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
So that is a blurry or a shiny Merfolk. We're gonna ink the bell,
Yeah.
popsicle,
Popsicle.
and no bell shift. See, like I don't like to ink the bell if I can get the shift line. So like I don't think that's the first card you want to ink often. But he is holding the fox, so
And he drew a Hades.
yeah, like he had the Diablo in hand over the popsicle. Like you can gamble it to try and get the bell, but to me it's off. If know I have the one drop, I'm just putting the character on the field. Again, I think it just comes down to board presence, especially when you know you're up against an aggro player.
I think he made the right call. Playing the popsicle gives you a chance at the bell when you don't have it. Diablo on turn 2 does nothing for you because you have no way to actually create a trade.
But the only like I like it because they might possibly slow down and to run into my own bird.
Nah.
Let's see. We're gonna ink the let it go for the bird, and yep, we just have to pass it.
Okay, no ramp feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, we do have
And
the fox coming up next turn at least.
He
but
mulliganed, so like he had an opportunity to draw it off of one of the 5 cards, six cards.
yeah, I mean,
7 cards.
He kept fox, he kept the bird, and then what else did he keep before?
Friends.
Yeah, I mean, like that was correct. Like his mulligan was definitely correct. But now we're already at 8
we're off
ink
to
on
the
turn
races
3.
big time.
Like
Yeah.
so this is kind of where like I know
Okay, he drew crab. Is it a crab?
that
Yeah,
is a
it's
crab. So we could drop crab, keep Diablo on the board, and then draw. He has to deal with the Donald as well, and then you're able to bounce. Yeah, here we go, crab.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yep.
So crab, yep. Bam.
That is the proper way to do it here. He's gonna get the extra draw.
Card. Yeah.
Again, though, I don't like the fact that he's inking the bells. It's inking the bell right now. You're gonna need to move that damage around that you're running into all these characters.
Right. You need that as a source of like direct removal of a ready dude later.
And we already got his hand is getting kind of clogged though. Unfortunately, he has 2 of those big cards already, and he's at 13.
Ugh.
And it's not
that's
ink the sale. Unfortunately, the best thing you can do right now is just you don't need to ramp because you're not going to expect to play those big guys right away. You're not going to make it to that far.
Yeah, you're not.
Nope. A little off screen, but we are going to have to discard. Just discard the big Elsa because you're not going to get to play her. Oh, he did drop the big Elsa. Okay, that's what I thought.
Of what we know.
Oh, he was greedy.
Okay, not because he can still double ink, so he still has enough to be able to play the fox.
I wouldn't have sacrificed the fox. You wanted to bounce the fox next turn. Like you had to basically bounce fox. Because now, and without the bell or anything, like you're at 6 ink next turn, so you can't even Hades that's in your hand. You have the crab, but that's not actually doing anything for you. Like the sale was 100% not worth. Because if you could have gone in and traded it up with those other 2, and he's got the shift line for the tramp. It looks like.
I mean, he's still digging for. He's got the popsicle, so he's still digging for that bell. And so, knowing that regardless, you have a chance of drawing a bell and then being able to creatively ink, or you just double ink to play the fox, I think was a thing.
I mean, like I understand the idea behind it, but he was just already way too far ahead. Like you got to keep. It feels like
he knew what he needed in order to try and stop the aggression, but he didn't find it.
That's fair.
Like I don't think even friends is like I would keep it just because it's inkable.
Right.
But I don't think you can take the time to actually sing friends against this deck.
Right. I agree with that.
Like maybe you would pitch that in order to try and find the popsicle bell combo. It wouldn't have helped because we saw how far down he went without ever finding a bell, but it could have mattered.
Yeah, I think he mulliganed properly. I would have kept the friends as well. Just because if you do have the chance to like go in, or maybe they hold or something instead on like turn 3 when you have the fox out and like provoking, I think the biggest mistake was just inking. He should have just inked the sail and played the mid-range game. Like you couldn't go for control when they're at 7 or 13, about to go to 17.
Right.
Like if you can bounce Fox for Fox the entire game and just deal with their board, yeah, like go for that. All right, skipped ahead a little bit, so they got it. They haven't mulliganed yet.
All right. So he's got
So
the Tipo.
he's hoping,
He's
hopefully, to
got
keep the Fox again.
Popsicle. He's
But
got Friends.
Hades better be going back into that out of that hand. I think he's looking at what to keep or what to get rid of. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he did the well. Was that a crab or a fox as the third card he kept? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think sending the friends back was correct.
Yeah, I mean, going first, I don't necessarily think so, just because if you do get the Bell Popsicle, you can sing it on turn 2, and they're not turning anything sideways yet anyways, so you could have gotten a little bit of a line with it. The only other thing you could really consider is if he expected more Ursulas, then possibly just send it back, because typically if against green, you want to send back your songs anyway. But against an aggro list, I probably wouldn't have been as concerned, so... we got a good line. We got Popsicle into Tipo, and then we can do some bouncing packages. We have plenty of ink in here. Just please don't ink the Bell, like right off the bat. That's my biggest request. Like Bell is such a good way to help remove the characters before they can even quest, especially because you have the Fox. So like give Bell a chance for at least a round or two.
We'll have an opportunity, but it still sucks not finding the 3-drop Bell.
Yeah, I mean, if we're lucky, we'll get it with the Popsicle, but if not, it's not the end of the world, but definitely seeing it in your opening hand is probably the best thing Blurple can see.
And I know we're both looking at the Blurple hand. I didn't even really look at the other hand, so...
He didn't get really reveal it after the mulligan too much, so I couldn't quite see. They're just nudging the...
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like, I feel like we're focused on Jackson because he's playing from behind right now.
Right.
But Thomas is in a good spot there. All right, we still didn't find the Bell.
All right, let's see. Show us your hand. One thing I wanted, like, would be sweet. I want to do like poker tables. This is Marigold into Merfolk. You know how poker? If you ever seen live poker, they have like the tables that they have like the cards, like it's glass, so you have a little camera inside, so you get to see their hand.
There she is.
Gotta invest it. Hey, Belle, she showed up late. But, I mean, better late than never with Belle. Getting her out, again, it's just an extra body, especially when you're on the play. So, we do that into the Tipo, get rid of that Hades because he's not going to be played for a while. And 2 characters on board. We got Fox,
I'm feeling
Belle.
good.
Yeah, like,
I'm feeling really good if I'm in his spot.
Like, especially because the only downside I would say is like you're not going to be able to shift the Belle next turn because you don't actually need to. But keep that Belle. You have Genie. He's if he doesn't draw an inkable, he's probably inking Bell. And I think at that point it's fine. But we do have a lady dropping down into another lady, and we just quest for 2.
Yeah.
So
we need to play the Genie in order to account for whatever card we discard off of the crashing into the Merfolk.
Right.
So we drew a sail.
I mean, I think you can either double and this.
Yeah, we have to ink the sail, play the Genie, draw the card, and then we get to decide what we're gonna pitch. Which we don't want to pitch the Fox. We don't want to pitch the Shift Bell. So it's probably whatever you top deck.
Right. Yeah, go for the Genie.
Elsa. Okay, so
yeah, that was perfect.
That makes it even a more difficult decision.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we just quest here because we need all of those cards.
I don't want to leave a Merfolk on the field. I'm gonna have to deal with it eventually.
It feels bad.
I'm gonna have to deal with it eventually. And yes, Elsa, the 5-drop Elsa is great, but yeah, like thankfully it is a miss with that. Oh, he's inking. He puts his ink up top. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah.
I used to do that, and people got so mad at me. I'm like, it makes more sense because I always want to pick it up. But yeah, I don't leave. In an aggro line, I'm not leaving a character on the one lore, the one card in hand. It doesn't matter to me. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I see the reasoning for why he did it. But yeah,
I
now
understand the
it's
why,
like,
but
okay,
I definitely agree. I think it was wrong.
I think he's gonna pitch the fox.
Yeah, at this point too, because you got to move that damage over next turn and take care of anything that readies up.
Oh, he's
Fox
got the shift lady in his hand.
shift lady. If he does, I mean, if he shifts into that, that's gonna be really nice for him. But yeah,
Okay, he pitched the bell instead of the fox.
I. It's not the end of the world, but Bell
No, but
does remove the damage off of the Elsa.
you've got a damaged Elsa to move that 2 damage onto something. So
Yeah.
it feels kind of bad.
Let's see. We are at 4 ink, I think, here now, so we can. He does have the lady shift line still if he really wants to. It's not perfect, but it is going to help him fill back his hand a little bit, which is kind of necessary
Yeah.
right now. I think that's what you have to do, and maybe just take a break off of like I don't need a quest yet.
Right.
Like you know your opponent only has 1 card in hand. You can't assume that it's everything that fixes their problems, but yeah, Piglet and Merfolk is probably what you take, and then just take the turn off, so that way you get a big quest with Piglet. Yeah.
I can still ink. I bet he inks the Kita.
Yeah.
And then plays the Merfolk.
Perfect. Now he's kind of debating. I mean, like, you just drew the Piglet. You do want to pass here. I don't think you should. Like, you're at 9. Obviously, like, if they're in top deck mode, there's no big board wipes that you have to worry about against Blurple. But you want to be able to make sure you get your 3 lore on Piglet. But I mean, again, that is 2 turns away. Maybe. What do you think here? I probably wouldn't. I probably would hold, but I don't think that's actually correct.
You've got Piglet and Donald Duck Bodyguard, and you're gonna draw something else. Even if you play Piglet next turn, you're still like taking a break. So I think I think it would be okay to just pass like he did, just because you've got 4 dudes staring you down. Whatever you turn sideways is toast. You're better off getting the value out of it when they have to make a more difficult decision.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think both you and he were correct. Just pass.
Yeah, and this is going to give him a chance to kind of catch up. So Jackson does go to quest to 7. He's got another genie on board on that we missed. He's the shiny one in the far
Okay,
end.
that's what that was.
Yep.
Right.
So he genie drew, and then he has Iago and a fox in hand, which having the fox is going to be great. And at this point, we gotta have to do something more with Thomas in order if he wants to come in. But he is gonna drop the Piglet, and yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna go bodyguard. And at this
There's
point,
a
you were just gonna turn
bodyguard.
everything sideways if you can, because you're still gonna
Okay,
draw.
that gives Trant. Okay, yeah.
That's yeah. So
'Cause
from here,
Lady
you
is
have to
out,
answer
so
everything. You have the
Tramp
field.
is doing stuff. Yeah. Oh no, that Tramp, that's an interplay effect. I don't know what I'm talking about. Derp.
Yeah, that's just I want to boost it for the on play. So looking at the character, I mean, you have the fox to deal with the. Oh no, you don't. You do Bell into the bodyguard, and then you just run everything else down as best you can. You have the characters, but this is also again where having that 5-drop Bell is so valuable because you could have moved some damage around and you would be able to save your Elsa here.
Yep.
And take out the Piglet before you flooded the board again. Because you have to
And
deal with everything.
He's held that fox, but he hasn't used it.
T-Bone
Like he started with that fox.
Yeah, T-Bone and the Merfolk. Finally gonna bounce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take out the lady, and then Genie and Elsa into the Tramp.
Yeah.
All right, and that does flood out the board. Yeah. And Thomas's hand
That's
is empty right now too. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's top decking.
Okay. So he hold the Piglet for 2 turns, but this is basically where you say, answer everything, or yeah, he's just passes. That's all you have to do. Answer my board. Do you have the exertions?
Yeah, because I'm gonna top deck a thing, and every single thing in my deck is a character.
Yep. This is it. You needed the bell. Assuming he draws a character on his 60 character deck, then
Can't tell what that other card is.
It's a library. I'm pretty sure.
Queen's Castle and.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Something.
Popsicle and this is also where like.
Yeah, there's the bell, but that's not helping.
This is where you want to play more Let It Goes as well, because if you have the Let It Goes, it does give you the options over the Hades that
Sure.
that you could actively just sing into it and just have more of the removal.
GG.
Yeah, just play a character and
Yeah.
that's it. But I think I think a lot of Blurple players learning out, and Jackson's learning how to play. There's the Let It Go at the very bottom. It is your one of though, but it is a one of. It feels bad, but it is only a one of. There's no Into the Unknown, so you don't have the option. Like you need to have some removal, and you need to have ways to turn everything sideways. Again, especially against aggro players. Value your bells, people. That is the best thing I can tell you as a Blurple player.
I think one thing that we talked about during the overall look at the deck lists was that we've got the ramp, but it feels awkward because there's so many 3-drops.
Yeah.
But I think in practice it seemed to work out for him because he missed ramp on the first game.
Yeah.
And then the second game, the crab was instrumental.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I'm not dissing crab by any means. I think crab is very, very important for the list. I just think that if you played a couple more 4-drops, it makes your TPO ramp better. Now, I'm in a weird spot because the way I'm playing it, I'm playing a 2-drop Elsa on turn 2, and I'm ramping to 3. And the reason I'm going with Elsa on 2, Anna on 3 to ramp for 5 is because I see the big value of the 5-drop Elsa and the 5-drop Belle.
Yeah, so you're playing the family package, not just like ramp into good stuff.
Right, like the family package is good stuff, and then I'm able to splash in different like it allows me to be more toolboxy, so I can really deal with it. I don't care if they get to 19, but because on turn 5 I can usually, if I still have that board live, if they're just questing and left my Anna and Elsa there, I'm either able to shift and get a big hit. So like I can shift the Elsa, the 7-drop one, on turn 4 onto my weaker Elsa, start making trades, or even just turning them sideways and permanently freezing them.
Right.
So that way I don't have to worry about it yet till I catch up. Or if I don't have that line, I can play Belle, I can play Elsa, I can play all the big 5 characters that I really want to see. Or if they're on control, then I have Finders Keepers, and then I'm just drawing a bunch of stuff.
Right. I feel like you share the same 2 colors, but you're running 2 different decks that happen to share a few staple cards.
I agree. Yeah. But
that's a story for another episode.
Oh yeah, I gotta play off my Blurple deck on one day on stream.
Absolutely.
It is my baby deck. I have been playing it since set 3, and
it's the reason you've got 20 stars.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, like I earned my stitch with Blurple on set 3.
Exactly.
Like it was perfect. So I think this is all. I like seeing this because it's just a good spot to see where people grow. I think both of those players are learning those new decks, so obviously it can be a little intimidating playing that on stream for the first time, and hopefully this is used as a good learning tool for any player, especially if you are picking up Blurple. Key takeaway: play Bell. Like bells are precious, especially against aggro, and don't feel like you can't always go with your strategy. So like you have to adapt to what your opponent's doing. If you are so tunnel minded of like I'm gonna get to 8 ink and only do that and ignore everything else, your opponent's just gonna quest out.
True that.
So, Trip, any final words, comments, questions, or anything else that you got for this video?
No, not really. This was I feel humbled in that I didn't think that the match was going to be that one-sided. I thought for sure that the Blurple was going to take at least a game off of him. But yeah, that even with some of the suboptimal cards, it's still Milo is still out there questing, and you have to deal with him. And if you go too wide, Blurple can't handle it.
Right. I think it does. This is a really nice thing to show off that I don't think the Blurple list was bad by any means. There's just some obvious tech choices that I make differently.
Sure.
But I do think that the Blurple player could have won both games. There were if you would have controlled the fox bouncing, if you didn't ink on that or with Azurite Sea and you just bounced fox for fox and start clearing the board, if you would have attacked the Tipo a turn earlier, like that turn previously, like that's 2 less lore at
Yeah.
that point. Like I feel like Blurple could have definitely done it, but hopefully this is a good learning exercise though, because Aggro can just turn everything sideways and win. You
Yep.
really have to play it out.
Yep.
All right. So, with that gameplay down, Trip, why don't you take us away? Tell me about the best store in Nashville.
Absolutely. That would be Tabletops Hobbies and Games, located in Antioch, off of Bell Road in Nashville. Radio voiceover. No, really, Tabletops is the best place in and around Nashville if you're on like the east southeast side to go. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. League night. We've got all the promos, the deck box, the pins, all that stuff to hand out every week for League. The cost of entry is $5, so like super low entry. And we always have a great crowd, not just like numbers wise, but we also have a great crowd as far as people. Uh, Again, this is a family friendly place. We are the right mix of like we're laid back, but we don't necessarily play all laid back decks. This is somewhere you can go and get some practice for competition, and it's somewhere you can come with your jank deck and just play weird stuff. Right now, I know that this is pre-recorded and everything, but right now we're past our set champs, so the bubble between set champs and the new set release is where we do wacky Wednesdays. So we'll do like the movie format. We'll do monocolor. I think this coming week is gonna be 2 versus 2. So we
We
do
got
some
tag
crazy
team
wacky stuff.
monocolors. Tag team monocolors is going to be insane.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And
So
like
we do some cool things. So absolutely come check us out. I would love to see you.
And I will say, like, I this place is great because everyone is very casual mindset going in.
Yes.
However, skill wise, these guys are great players that come here every week. So like if you want to learn and you want to get better, there is nothing better than going into a place and getting your face kicked in. So I say
Absolutely.
but in a good way because everyone wants to help you learn. Everyone wants to help you improve. And we want this game to succeed, so we want each other to succeed. We will help you grow. Feel free to come in and hang out with us. And if you're a new player or a pro, we'd love to have you.
Yes.
All right. So I think that is going to wrap up our episode today. If you guys enjoyed this content and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and do all the YouTube stuff. And we will have to catch you all next time.